It's my own design. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Help me to make the most of freedom and of pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever because everybody wants to rule the world. Those are the lyrics to one of my favorite Tears for Fears songs. Also one of my favorite songs in existence, period. The song, of course, is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Now, why am I starting this video with those lyrics? Well, once again, we have to talk about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Those wonderful crypto-backed blockchain pieces of digital art that captured the hearts, minds, and wallets of starry-eyed speculators everywhere, back 5 years ago. Well, today, as anybody could have guessed, because I told you point blank on this channel that these things would be almost worthless in the years to come, whether or not you listen to me or not is anyone's guess, or maybe you didn't even know this channel existed back then. Spoiler alert, it did. I'm here to tell you that NFTs are pretty much done with. It's over. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Bitcoin bros, crypto bros that really get upset with me and want to argue with me every time I talk about the death of NFTs. But I'm here to tell you, all the writing is on the wall. There's tons of lawsuits still pending, one of which we're going to be talking about today. Now, I am going to put a link to this article in the video description below. On January 12th, 2026 of this year, an excellent article written by Chris DeVille, courtesy of Stereogum, premiered, detailing a report that Steve Aoki is being sued over worthless MetaZoo NFTs. So many years after the tabletop card game known as MetaZoo that was pumped by a lot of YouTubers out there that should have really knew better, especially if you happen to have a finance background. But regardless, it was pumped and dumped, and there are still pending lawsuits concerning MetaZoo. So we're going to talk about this really quickly, and why, again, I keep cautioning you that NFTs are done. Nada. Put a fork in them. They're Beanie Babies 3.0 that could never, ever survive. Remember, they're not Beanie Babies 2.0 because that belongs to Funko Pops. Now, maybe to be fair, Beanie Babies 3.0 would be Labubu's, but either way, NFTs are definitely on par with Beanie Babies. It's pretty much a dead market at present time with few exceptions. So I'm just going to read you a couple of paragraphs of this article, then we're going to discuss it. You can already see my negativity surrounding these events, surrounding NFTs in general. Here we go. In the words of Chris DeVille, 5 years ago, there was plenty of hype behind non-fungible tokens, those crypto-purchased, blockchain-stored digital works of art. But you don't hear much about NFTs these days, much to the dismay of people who bought some from Steve Aoki. Aoki, who started out booking punk shows and became a world-famous DJ and cake thrower, not kidding, you can look that up, has been named in a class action lawsuit alongside DraftKings co-founder Matthew Kalish. The suit alleges that Aoki and Kalish used their influence on social media to promote NFTs from the now defunct MetaZoo without disclosing what they were being paid to do so. Plaintiffs in the suit, led by Evan Berger, say they've suffered losses into the tens of millions of dollars. Founded in 2000, MetaZoo Games LLC started out selling a tabletop collectible card game, but moved on to skateboards, clothing, and NFTs. At its peak, a set of all 10 versions of the MetaZoo coin NFT was going for 20 Ethereum, the equivalent of about $80,000 at the time. Berger says that influenced by Aoki and Kalish's promotions, he bought and held onto at least 26 NFTs, believing they would increase in value. According to his lawsuit, the tokens are now worthless. There is a specific set of rules that are in place to protect consumers, and it's of great importance that influencers know and understand these rules because they are requirements and not suggestions, Berger told law.com. There are a number of class actions now against viable companies where the same thing has happened. Interestingly enough, and I do have to get my little dig in here, I thought crypto bros didn't want any type of regulation in their market. So shouldn't you be happy that you spent all this money on these worthless digital artifacts because you were investing in an unregulated free market? Shouldn't the end result be that you do end up going bankrupt and learning a lesson here? Why should the rest of us have to pay for your mistake? Now, in all honesty, you guys know I am not a fan of cryptocurrencies. I'm not a fan of NFTs. I'm not a fan of MetaZoo. I'm not a fan of all of these highly speculative, unestablished collectibles, whether it's One Piece, whether it was Flesh and Blood, which I don't even know what's happening with Flesh and Blood anymore, the card game. I don't even know if that's still a thing. I just remember there was a time where they were producing these cold foil cards that people would send off to get graded. They were coming back and they were flipping them on eBay for thousands of dollars a piece, which I thought was ridiculous at the time. I don't know what a lot of people are thinking, or I should say not thinking about, when they choose to invest in items like this. But what I'm telling you is, be very careful in the new era of the antiques and collectibles trade. Investing in these markets, if you do not understand collectible finance, if you do not understand the difference between a speculative market versus an established market versus a mature and sophisticated market, you are at some point going to get slapped in the face with a stale donut. That's why I continue to do videos like this. Again, learn from this. I don't care what famous person, what social media influencer, whoever your favorite YouTuber is, if they are telling you to invest in something or buy something simply because it's going to go up in value, question everything. Question that advice, question that person, question the integrity of what they are telling you to do. Critical thinking skills are imperative if you want to become a good investor, especially over the long term. Lesson over. Thank you for watching. I will put a link to this particular article written by Chris DeVille. I think he did a good job of this piece. It's a very short piece. I read most of it to you already, but it will be in the video description below because I want to make sure he gets credit for this article. Thank you again for watching, and if you are subscribed, I will see you in another upcoming video.